Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Neon Demons. And as you can see, since last we met, I went ahead and finished up the ride, and now we are in testing round 1. I just imported it into NoLimits 2, and I'm putting in all the launches, the launch sections, the station, all that sort of thing. I did not do a depump yet. I usually save that until the very end when I'm totally satisfied with the ride, just because, especially with something this long, it takes quite a bit of time. So I think I can get a good idea just visually of how it's going so far and whether or not I want to keep it. So you can see that I just pretty much finished the entire thing in FVD, and I just leave a little bit of a section that needs to be connected towards the end, and then I import it into NoLimits 2, connect that piece, and finish up with everything that needs to be done in order to get it up and running. So I was fairly satisfied. You're going to see in just a minute, we're going to take a look at this, and we're going to see how it duels to make sure it kind of gets along. So here we go. Let's take a look at that really fast. I'm fairly satisfied with how this looks so far. But there are a number of issues that I discovered when I moved to NoLimits 2, and I'll point those out momentarily. So basically what that has amounted to is that I decided to go back and just sort of rework the ride. So we paused it right here, and we're going to just take a look. We're going to move a little bit over to the side so we can actually see how the dueling is coming along. So I'm fairly satisfied with how the dueling is. It interacts very well throughout the ride. I'm overall fairly happy. It meets when it should meet. There's a few spaces, like maybe right here, it could be a little bit closer, but it makes up for that at the end with the trains arriving to the brake run nearly side by side. And I especially like this point here where it splits off and goes two different directions, but then it does meet up again here in the middle just a little bit. And in a moment you'll see probably what I think the best aspect of this ride is when it's dueling and one section is upside down over the other one, which is coming up right here. That's always a good way to have a dueling aspect. So you see right there, I really am obviously very pleased with that. So what I did decide to do though was to redo this because I thought it was just a little bit messy. Overall, I thought some sections of the track was just a little bit too close together. For safety's sake, I did do a clearance test, but I wasn't. It certainly passed the clearance test everywhere. It may look very, very, very close, but there are points where it definitely passes the clearance test, except right here. The problem that we have right here is that yes, it passes the clearance test when I actually put the clearance envelope on the train, but it wouldn't pass it if both trains had the clearance envelope tool on them. I think they would intersect. I didn't actually do that, but I tried for a long time to convince myself that it was alright right there, just because I didn't really want to redo the whole thing, but unfortunately it did. But let's just take a really quick ride on this so we can get a look at what it looks like as it rides. Alright, so that was the Prana side. We're going to switch over to the Iju side and take a look at that really fast, and then we'll just come back and have a little bit more discussion. Alright, so there are a couple problems I have. First of all, I want the movement of this ride to be a little bit more fluid and organic. Some of the turns are very almost like whiplash in terms of how quickly they snap into place and stop rotating. So I kind of want a little bit more of a fluid movement to the turns. I have not decided what kind of trains and track I'm going to use. I've been having some trouble going back and forth between these old school style Intamin trains versus the rocket trains, which I don't like the view that you get in the program very much, versus Mack. And I like the Mack trains the best, but obviously this is not a very Mack-esque coaster. It doesn't really strike one as being designed by Mack, or Mack as it's properly pronounced, I guess. And then here I tried for a long time to convince myself that this was going to work, but that's just not going to work. It's just way too close. Obviously it just would never happen for safety's reasons, so we're going to have to fix that. So I went back in FVD and I'm about midway through redesigning the ride. I'm not going to bore you with the footage of that again. I think the next time we come in, I'll probably have it updated and ready to go in terms of imported into NoLimits 2, but we'll see. I might end up doing several versions of this before I decide on something I like. But overall, this is the layout I have in mind, something very similar to this. So let me know what you think in the comments. If this looks pretty good to you, if you think I could do a better job. But that's probably going to be it for this episode, so I will talk to you next time. Take care and enjoy the ride.